Why chosen ones are often alone or broke. Imagine yourself sitting alone in a quiet room, the dim light casting shadows on empty corners, with only the hum of your thoughts filling the silence. You look around, no close friends in sight, your wallet thin despite the sweat you've poured into every day. You wonder, why am I so alone? Why does money keep slipping away? Why doesn't anyone understand me? I've been there, lost in the rush of life, staring out windows with a heavy heart, eyes stinging from unanswered questions. But one day, as sunlight pierced through the curtains, a truth hit me like a revelation. This isn't a curse, it's a sign of something greater. You and I might be chosen ones, souls carrying a radiant light that transcends the ordinary rules of this world. Let me tell you a story about this extraordinary journey, where loneliness and poverty aren't failures, but doorways to the strength and purpose you're destined for. I remember the endless stretch of lonely days sitting in the corner of a familiar cafe, watching people pass by with a distant gaze. I wondered why I couldn't hold on to lasting relationships. I'm kind, a good listener, always ready to lend a hand. Yet the people I called friends faded away one by one. Once I reunited with an old buddy. We laughed, I shared my dreams. They nodded in understanding, and I thought things could be like before. But days later, my messages went unanswered, my calls met with silence. I asked myself, what did I do wrong? I blame myself, convinced I wasn't good enough, not interesting enough to be around. I'd stare into the mirror, searching my own eyes for flaws that drove people away. But one night, lying in bed under a starlit sky peeking through my window, a thought struck me like lightning. It's not me. It's the light within me, too strong, too different. You're the same. You carry a spiritual glow, a brilliance others feel even if they can't name it. That light is like a lantern. In the dark, at first it draws people in, pulling them toward your warmth and positivity, but then it scares them. Why? Because when you're near, you're a mirror reflecting what they hide. Their fears, their insecurities, the deep wounds they're not ready to face. They're not prepared to see themselves, so they leave, leaving you in emptiness, wondering, why? Those departures used to wound me. I'd cry alone at night, clutching a pillow, tears falling as I recalled a friend who promised forever, but vanished like smoke. I thought I wasn't worth loving. But then, like a beam cutting through darkness, I saw it differently. Not everyone leaves. Only those who can't handle my light do. The ones who stay, rare as gems in a sea of sand, are souls willing to grow, to confront their own shadows. I have a best friend who stood by me through the worst. Once she held my hand, eyes red, and said, "You scare me sometimes because you make me think about things I don't want to see, my mistakes, my pain. But I stay because I want to be better, and you help me." Those words brought tears, but this time from joy. So if your circle of friends is small, don't grieve. It's not a loss, it's a sign you're vibrating on a higher frequency, a rhythm not everyone can match. But loneliness doesn't just come from others. It comes from within, from how you experience the world. I've had days when exhaustion made me want to shut everyone out. Have you felt that too? When you're with someone, you give so much, listening, comforting, even forcing a smile to lift them up, though your own heart's a mess. But when they leave, you're hollow, like they've drained your life force. I'd slump on my couch after a meetup, head pounding, body heavy as stone. I'd wonder, why am I so tired? Then it hit me. My energy is powerful, magnetic, and people lean on it like a beacon to chase away their darkness. They come, take my warmth and support, then go, leaving me weary. Once I met an acquaintance who vented for 2 hours about their troubles. I listened, consoled, but when I shared my own struggles, they nodded absently and made an excuse to leave. I stood there holding a cold coffee, feeling wrung out. So I started pulling back, choosing solitude over those who only take. I'd sit in my room, listening to rain tap the window and feel peace wash over me. It's not selfishness. It's how I protect my light, and maybe you're doing it too, choosing stillness to safeguard your soul. Loneliness isn't just a shield, it's a forge for my spirit. In those solitary days, I faced myself, the childhood scars, the hurts I'd buried under a tough exterior. One night I sat in the dark, knees to my chest, tears streaming as I remembered my parents' fights, hiding in a corner as their shouts echoed. I thought I'd moved on, but loneliness brought it back, demanding I look. It terrified me at first, but then I felt lighter. In that silence, I heard a gentle whisper, not from outside, but from something divine. Maybe God, maybe the universe, whatever you call it. It said, "This is your time to heal, to grow." I realized loneliness isn't punishment, it's a gift. It gave me space to peer inside, mend my broken pieces and connect to something vast. I started journaling, hands shaking as I wrote my pain, but when I finished, I smiled, truly alive for the first time in ages. Have you felt that? When you're alone, you're not truly lost. You're being guided, prepared for something grand. I used to fidget in that loneliness, feeling like life was stalled, like I was waiting for something that never came. I'd sit by my window in Chicago, watching snow pile up, wondering when my moment would arrive. But one night, as moonlight cut through the fog, it dawned on me. This waiting isn't pointless. It's a spiritual training ground where the universe sharpens me, uncovering my passions, talents, and faith. I began writing, clumsy lines at first, but they flowed like a river telling my story. I listened to the voice within, becoming the truest version of myself. I once thought I was abandoned, but no, I was being shaped. You're the same. Those days you feel adrift, left behind, are when you're being readied. The universe is aligning everything, your heart, your soul. So when the time comes, you'll step into your calling stronger than ever. Now let's talk money, because that pain cuts deep. You're smart, you work hard. So why's your wallet always empty? I've asked that 100 times, standing in a store clutching the cheapest ramen, envying others with full carts. I've watched friends buy houses and cars while I scrambled to pay rent, sometimes borrowing a few bucks from my mom to scrape by. I'd think, am I that useless? But then I saw it. This isn't failure. It's my path, the path of a chosen one. We don't live by others' rules, chasing cash or status like society demands. I turned down high-paying jobs that felt soulless. Once got offered a gig with a fat salary, millions a month, but I knew I'd wither in that office. Instead, I chose what made me feel alive, writing, helping others, though it barely paid. You're like that too, right? You aim for purpose, for light, not profit. We're here to heal, create, lift the world up, and that rarely comes with the material wealth people praise. Money's energy, and mine doesn't vibe with traditional ways. Climbing ladders, trading stocks, starting businesses for gain, they feel hollow, like wearing a misfit coat. I tried extra hours at a desk job once, but every night I'd come home wanting to cry, feeling I'd betrayed myself. I had to believe there's another way, one that fits the light I carry. It's the hardest test I've faced. When money runs dry, bills tower like mountains, I'd ask, do I trust the universe Do I believe I'll be provided for? Some days I faltered, staring at the ceiling with blank eyes, thinking I'd never make it. But I learned to let go, to trust that real abundance isn't just cash. Financial struggles taught me resilience, taught me to lean on faith over bank balances. Once, with just $2 left, a stranger on the street handed me a sandwich, smiling. "Take it. You look like you need it." I stood there, tears falling, knowing the universe always finds a way. Sometimes it's deeper, a burden from the past. I felt blocks inside me, money fears, scarcity mindsets from my family, my ancestors. My mom told me stories of her childhood, poverty, how my grandma skipped meals to feed her kids, and that never enough belief seeped into me. Maybe you feel it too, like you're carrying generations' weight, whispers saying, "You'll never have enough." As chosen ones, we're tasked with breaking that cycle, healing our lineage's financial wounds. It's tough. I'd sit with a notebook, writing my fears, failure, lack, unworthiness. I'd cry realizing how long I'd lived with those limits, a shadow on my shoulders. But facing them, whispering to myself, "You're enough, you're worthy," shifted things. Small chances appeared, a sudden freelance gig, an old debt repaid I'd forgotten, like the universe said, "You're ready now, receive." You're breaking those blocks too, step by step, and light will guide you home. This broke phase won't last forever, I promise. It's your cocoon before you emerge, vibrant and free. Without cash as a cushion, I had to focus on my gifts, my faith, my true self. I'd sit under a park tree, scribbling poems on scrap paper and reading them back. My heart raced with joy. I found wealth in small moments, a stranger's smile, a peaceful morning with birds chirping, not just dollars. I believe the universe is prepping you for real abundance, filling not just your pockets but your soul. You don't suffer because you're less. You suffer because you're more, carrying a light this world needs, even if it hasn't paid you yet. Here's the heart of it. Your loneliness and empty pockets aren't burdens, they're proof of your depth. You see life differently beyond the glitter of status and stuff. I've stood in crowded parties hearing boasts of cars and houses, but felt empty inside. You and I know love, wisdom, purpose outweigh any bank account, and that sets you apart, sometimes leaving you adrift. People might not get you, might shy from your intensity, but that's fine. You weren't born to blend in. You're here to shift things, to bring a new way where wealth is soul deep, not coin deep. I once thought loneliness meant rejection, but now I see it's preparation for deeper bonds, people who'll give as much as they take. I thought poverty was failure, but it's a lesson in valuing what truly matters. So, chosen one, embrace this journey. Your loneliness isn't a dead end. It's fertile ground for authentic, profound connections where you'll be loved for you. Your poverty isn't defeat. It's a fire forging you, teaching trust, paving the way for abundance that's yours by divine right. I've walked this road, cried in solitude, counted pennies, and found power in it. You will too, I'm certain. Tell me your story. Have you felt this call in your struggles? Walk with me, with us light bearers. You're a masterpiece unfolding, and the universe welcomes you with open arms. Peace and light are yours.